This is amazing.
Is it? Yeah, is it? Okay, Matt.
Like your officials, okay.
So do the mic check, please, and then we'll go.
Hold on. I'll be real about it.
All right.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Bongo Racing never told to race. Technical stuff. It's crazy, man. Hello, check 1 2.
Travis, wow, you've joined me this evening for the chat. The chat, Travis.
Wow.
I'm amazed that I'm actually here with you. In fact, I never actually get to see you. I mean, I've only ever seen still photographs of you. I've never actually seen you moving before. Part of me thought that you were like a figment of my imagination because I've only seen
AI.
Yeah, you could be an AI. All right, so this is the chat at Bongo Racing, and it's a fireside chat. It's casual, and it's the idea behind putting some faces behind the names, the guys that we race with. And I wanted to start with a lot of the people that were with me from almost the very, very beginning of when the private servers all started up. So tonight, I have a guy with me called Travis. Travis, who are you? What is your name? And how old are you?
I'm Heinz 57 sauce, of course. But wow, Robin. Wow. You know, I always see you, but for you to see me is a weird thing. But that's why I feel so comfortable right now, which is cool. 57 years old. Yes.
57 years old. And you're Travis. And Travis.
Yeah, I'm Travis. Yeah. And Roger directed all my photo shoots for the cards. So, you know, the first photo shoot, he's like, "Can you send us a picture of yourself?" I'm like, I don't know. Okay, fine. And he goes, "No, just do it right now." And I'm like, "All right." And I sent it to him, and he's like, "Now, dude, your eyes are crossed." I'm like, "What do you mean they're crossed? I can't see there, you know." Let's do it again. So that's the picture everybody got.
All right, so that's good. So I take it then you're also in America. That is, you hail from Florida as well as Roger. Yeah?
Yes.
And have you lived in Florida all your life, Travis?
No, I was born in Colorado Springs. My dad was at NORAD Mountain, and I was born on the Air Force Base there. So whether I'm a race car driver, a used base gun, or a super soldier, I have no idea the jury's still out on that. But I was there for a while, and then we moved to Nashville, one of your favorite places.
Yeah.
And then we came to Florida, and it's been amazing down here. Yeah.
Excellent. And do you work? Do you have a job? Or I mean, what is the life behind Travis? What's the experience?
These are the things that were the last two nights when I said I might get interviewed. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
So, right now I'm not working.
Okay.
I'm kind of creating. I'm creating, and it's to tie it into sim racing has been an amazing tie-in to what I've been doing over here with sim racing, and hopefully we'll make this 11-part series, you know.
Okay. All right. So like when you say create, I mean, are you creating like pottery or art or films or music or what do you?
It's kind of like data collection, you know. You journal. I knew I wasn't going to get into this. It's just like I find data very awesome, and there's a fog in our present moment. But as you journal and you go back and look and bring it forward, it's been pretty amazing. So I have a story since 2002. It's called Life Prints, and it's a spirit project. So you can put on Oculus Rifts. Okay. You can do my lens, whatever my lens is. You can take this journey that was between 2002 and 2024.
And that's been quite of a roller coaster then, has it?
No, yeah. What's good about I feel real comfortable with this community, and I'll tell you, it's like a lot of us here, like how much do you want to talk about? I mean, we all have like lives of
share what you want to share.
We have Forrest Gump,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Forrest Gump lives. All of us have amazing lives. So, I'm trying to express myself, and I find that being old, I have people saying, you're a little more advanced than we need you to be, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
Okay, I'm going to help
Like,
you.
what?
So on YouTube, there is some music stuff that you're involved with. Again, like a guy on the edge of the pier or the beach. Was it New Jersey? Was it New York? Was it the piano way out in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, that was something I did in 2011, and I to go back into my past, which me and Roger are both like, what? Well, him being puppets of like poetry, and the strings are attached to those things. I I've had like 4 different lives, yes, and music was my passion. The Magnus organ's back there. I was hoping to show you that, but I have an organ back there when I was 5 years old. I would play Elton John to that. And music has always been a passion, but the last 7 years it hasn't been. And I got this piano right here, it's like, but I write, but it's 7 years of silence, So, but the thing with Cuba was we've done a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, and nobody goes to my YouTube channel, thank God. It was to be like, wow,
Well, no.
what's going on there? Yeah. But to get back to the past, like Roger, let's go back to Roger, Leo, and Laurent. We all got together and started racing, but before that, we're all into music.
Wow, I didn't realize that's what the link, because okay, I get it. Sorry, I because it's such an odd bunch. You've got 2 guys in America, you've got 2 guys in France, and how the hell do you put those guys together? And it's music is a common language there.
I think God put us together. It's crazy. It's crazy thought, but it's like Laurent, I'm still unfolding that. Leo, unfolding that. And the first day we all met, I showed up like gangbusters. Like I'm a Call of Duty guy. We go in and we kick ass. We can be anybody we want. We can talk all the shit we want, right?
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Right. But when I joined this crew, I didn't know at the time what I was getting into. And you could be whatever you want. I used online to escape my reality, but my reality has become this place.
Sorry about that.
And it's crazy, but it's good to learn that there's people behind the names, and you can't just say whatever you want. And when I showed up, I remember Aid. It was it was what was that little course you wrote? What was that course?
Well, I can't remember, but I remember
it was a small park.
Alton Park.
Yes.
Yeah, with Bongo and Corsa.
Aid was so awesome. And I was in awe about how much I sucked. And we'll get into that maybe.
Yeah,
but Aid was an inspiration to me. But I know I came in here like a loud blasting American.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter what order we do this in, but there was myself, there was Aid, there was a guy called Andy. Sadly, he has not passed away, but he's had to take a wee step back for health reasons. And there was Aid, Andy, Steve, Dave, I think had appeared as well. And one night we came on, and you 2 guys were there, and if Aid had been in the room, I would have looked over to him and went, "What the hell's this?" Because before it was like
he was the bridge,
English upper lip, stiff upper lip, and let's get on with it, and let's be gentlemen. And then there's this explosion of color and funniness, and couldn't get a word in edgewise. It was fantastic. What the hell?
Abe knew what to do with it, because I look back on that oblivious to it. Now I know where I'm at. Oh my God. Even the last race we just did. Why would I stick my head out there and go, bongo racing? I got to tell you, in my headsets, the harmonics were so good. The bongo soundtrack that you did, were so good. And I thought I was underneath the soundtrack. I'm going, oh, and I was inflecting. It was barely there. But if you watch the YouTube video, I'm like, bongo.
Yeah,
bongo.
It's like, oh God, singing with a Sony Walkman on. Singing Aretha Franklin.
Horrible. Okay. Like I have everything to lose from that, you know.
Back to you a wee bit. Do you have any family and kids? Where are you with kids and stuff?
I have a son who's about 28, and I have my father who's amazing, and I'm in the middle.
Yeah,
but they perplex me.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I have a 24-year-old and an 18-year-old, and then all our foster kids as well. And the 24-year-old of my own lad and my younger lad, they're like two. They all are two different people, but their personalities are completely and utterly different. You know, the older one is quiet.
Yeah,
and the younger one, Charlie, is very. He's happy to be in the middle of every social occasion. They'll chat and show, and they're both great guys, but anyway, family. Okay,
you're in what I call life prints. Like you have foster children, you have your family, and I consider you like one of those amazing people that's you get a good broad perception of what's going on. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that part of my life's been very, very good. It's been good. I mean, sorry, I don't want to talk about me, but we got into fostering. Long story short, when I first met Judith, she went to open up a coffee shop for a training organization for people with learning difficulties, adults, Down syndrome, stuff like that. The first of its kind in Belfast.
My favorite.
So she would have 4 or 5 normal people, you can call them normal, and then the rest of them were what they call trainees. So adults with Downs and different learning difficulties.
Yeah.
And I was working for another catering equipment company, and I had to marry her to get the order for that coffee shop. Anyway, so there's a load of those trainees, a busload of them came to our wedding reception afterwards, and we danced. There was maybe about 40 or 50 of adults with Down syndrome. We were dancing the night away. We had this jazz blues band up there. They made the night. And anyway, Judith sharked her way up within that organisation, and then Charlie came along. And at that stage, 18 years ago, going back part-time and stuff wasn't really a thing. So we took the year out and we trained to become foster carers, and that's now 18. So we're fostering 17 years. And that's where that sort of link is there. But when we got into it, it was for selfish reasons, because we thought, well, we can just get a bigger table. We've got a big house. We've got a bigger house. Just get a bigger table. Put more people around the table. And during that time, we have had white kids, black kids, skinny kids, Muslim kids, Catholic kids, Protestant kids. You name it, we've had them all. And the selfish reason was that my boys would become more balanced, because
you get a lot of that.
Yeah, you know that. Anyway, well, that's okay. His family is there. Is there
and I kind of feel like, not now, but maybe in the future, all that bridges together with what you're doing now and what happens here. And there's stuff to do globally. That's why I'm really attracted to Bongo Racing, because it's good.
So that gets us on to sim racing then. So when did you start sim racing? I know lots of us on Gran Turismo or stuff years ago, but with a PC, when did that start?
So let's go to the future really quick, and let's go to the future. When we jumped back to the past, and I thought about this. I've been dreaming about this interview. I'm going, Jesus. I've been editing thousands of words, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever. This is great. This is I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully this isn't just a disclaimer to why I exist.
Okay.
Healy's laughing right. Healy's laughing right now. Okay, so For a guy that wants to be silent and be quiet and be anonymous, I put myself out there because I was an entertainer for so long. I produced music, Lauryn Hill, Ricky Martin, a lot of boy bands. I went around the world, blah 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 blah. It's not name dropping, but it kind of is.
It is. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people that I worked with, and that was a lifetime ago. And then I started my own. I got into web, CGI, particle physics, anime, Maya, Cinema 4D, Real Flow. These are programs. I just love programs. I dug into them, right? And I loved them. But now I'm like, here we are in 2017. 2016, we're going to stop there because something happened in 2012 and 2016, which changed my life.
Okay.
And I hope to talk about that one day because I've been suppressed with that.
All right.
But I really think that I really want to share that story one day.
No, someday.
12 and 16. But so I'm coming in as a new sim racer. So me and Roger, and not selling out Roger at all. Roger, he always was in front of me with things. Me and him loved Gran Turismo. I went out to California. Me and him were like on his couch with a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, and Project Cars 1 sucked. And everybody knows that. It wasn't right. It wasn't right.
Okay.
The physics were not right, but me and him loved it. And before that, in PlayStation maybe 2 or 3, when I saw those stickers on the side of the car, I was like, and I'm like, wow, look at those stickers on the side of the car. Those are sponsors. That's amazing. And I played it forward, and here we are in the future, and I kind of like, I'm numb to it, but I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at that car with the stickers on the side. I will one day be a racer, and I'll have sponsors in digital form. I already knew it. Like 1984, playing Tron, play it forward. Dad, this is real life, though. It's a fad. No, it's not a fad. You play it forward. There's game theory and all that. So Roger and I, we were very competitive. And it was cool,
Yeah.
And so he was, he like, and I think the interview that I just saw, of course, and I didn't think I was going to watch the whole thing, but it was a great interview, by the way. I just was like, okay, I'm watching. And I was like, wow, I remember what some of the things he said. And
I don't think he's much.
what's happened?
I don't think he's much of.
Happened?
I don't think he's much of a friend. He charged you for that.
Rod?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he says,
Roger.
He says he gave you his DD1, but he charged you for the same amount as a pair of pedals.
Yeah.
If he had been a real friend, he would have given it to you, not charged you for it.
Yeah, I want to punch him for that, but we're not going to talk about that. So here's the thing. Roger is researching always, right?
Yeah.
He's researching. He's got the PlayStation and this little thing, and I go over there. And I was watching Dave Mann at the time, and this doesn't sell anybody. I'm like, but he was already on it. Listen, man, I've been watching Dave Mann, but these guys are using PCs, and you're wasting your time. And but Roger was already on it before I said that, so that's what made it real. So you know what I'm saying? When you say something to somebody and like it works, and you stand to the guy, it's because two other people and hit themselves are like, wow, and you're the guy that tips over the edge. Roger has been an amazing ally, and I told him this the other day. I said a lot of human nature. People go, oh, I was you charged me the cost of the pedals under your shoe, But the thing is most people like resent that. But Roger is always an ally. Their family to me, and so was his sons. And Roger is a good guy. He'll take you to a certain point, but then you got to take it from there. And most people are like, well, what? Can't you help me out the rest of the way? No, dude. Roger takes you there, and then you got to decide. He brings you on the side of the cliff, So I think where we're going to go with this right now is that Lee Laurent Leo.
Yeah. So when did you get into ACC, for example? When did you start?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I would never buy a rig. I bought like little rigs. I made little things going on, but Roger, he sprung it on me, and I sprung it on him because I look, AMC's cross-platform, Xbox, you can be your rig, and give me an Xbox, my controller. Yeah, and that's all I expected. But then Roger calls me and goes, listen, man, because Roger's going, Simucube story, right? So he said, Trav, I'm going to give you this rig for this price. I'm like, that's a great price. That's a great price. And then the computer was another price, and I kept up on the table, and I was like, all right, I'll do it, but where am I going to put a rig? Like all of us. This is where the story in this interview becomes about all of us. Like, what am I going to do with this rig? What's my wife going to think, or my girlfriend, or family, or whatever? I got this rig, and I have 3 rooms up here. Where am I going to put this rig? It's going to be over this bedroom right here? No. No, Buck here. It's going to be over there? No. No. It's beside my bed. I put the rig, I carried it up the stairs.
Sexy.
I put it
sexy.
I put it on the other side of my bed. I wake up every morning, I'm like, there's a freaking car beside my bed, and I can't believe it. And like I said before, like, I'm looking at you guys in the future, like last race we did, and I'm able to go camera to camera and look at all the stickers and all the drivers going to see TC Control. And I'm announcing that, but knowing that nobody knows what I'm seeing. And I was like, this is amazing. It's amazing, guys, but realizing that nobody's seeing what I'm seeing. And I'm like, okay, well, I wonder if we do this professional with a mix or whatever. But Roger gives me this rig. My dad, I'm like, Dad, me and my dad, 1/8 scale racing, 2-cycle racing, 2-cycle engine racing, remote control, up on the bridge, looking down, remote control, full speed, wreck those cars, bro. Money. You know what I'm saying? It's been money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole.
Or wrecking 2-cycle engines from the outside, not being in the car in the simulation. My dad's like, all right, yeah, you're good at video games, but maybe this isn't it. It's not. It's not the same thing.
No.
It's a different thing.
So I take it then.
And so
got that rig, and it's got its hooks in you. I take it then.
Yeah, from 1984, it's been hooked in us. Roger, all of us, right? Yeah.
So now that you're in a rig and you've got a big wheel and pedals and all the bits and pieces. What does your dad think about that? Or your son, if they were over? I mean, what do they think about this?
My son is disconnected. For now, my dad is like, this is amazing because my dad is a physical. He's an engineer, and he knows music and MIDI, music and computers.
Okay,
I did that all my life. Now we're in simulation, modeling, physical airplanes, modeling airplanes, boom, simulation, and we all know that goes here in real life. So the story is for everybody else, like starting out. I knew when I got that rig, I was like, oh, this is great, but I knew it was over my head. And I had people that went, oh, I want to try it. So what happened was, and this is not a disclaimer, but this is the truth. Laurent, me, and Roger were racing, and Roger had big hopes for me because alien, whatever, not like a Dan, but he had hopes. And what happened was my focus on changing between a PlayStation to a PC, remembering to change the setup, setup 1 to 6 and I had no idea, FOV.
Oh,
I go, Roger,
things to learn.
Roger, I see, Roger, you're a little slow. Try FOV 36. What are you talking about? And Roger just takes what I say and just goes with it. So that's what's so good. I go, check this out. He takes it beyond, and I forget about where Roger's at. So the FOV is very important. for geometry. I missed that the first year. Controller to physical movement, and then steering lock. And I had no business being in a rig.
I know, but that's how we.
I didn't.
That's how we learn. I mean, I was the same. It was all.
Yeah, we learned. But I'll tell you, I was like, oh, let me put this up. So I was like, I couldn't stay on the track, Robin. Like, I was happy if I went around a lap. Like, some guys are like, oh, I keep going off or I keep getting in an accident. And that's where I think this part of the interview is beneficial, because I knew, I don't know what the frick's going on. It's going to take me a year. And I announced it. A year, I'll be good. A year. Because I just started. I mean, if I was a race car driver, like Robin's been on a real track. These guys, they go to the track. I'm nobody. I'm a video game player. If I was a race car driver, then I would be awesome, but I'm not, right? And so I had to learn to be a race car driver from a musician.
That night at Oulton Park, that first night, you were giving me tips. You were giving me tips. You were telling me when I first met you, you had a base level, and you've got better and better and better. So
you play it forward, right? So you think you know, but you don't. But you're like in the past. But really, you guys are ahead.
Yeah.
But you can see it coming. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that group,
it's so funny. I'm giving you tips.
Yeah. So the founding guys, all again, like Roger, he's improved as well, but yourself and Ian and Dave and Steve and all those guys that started at the beginning have came on leaps and bounds over that year of the servers being live. So, yeah. So that night, and I mentioned it to Roger as well. How come did Roger bring you to Bongo, or did you find Bongo? How did you find Bongo Racing? Like,
I totally discovered you before Roger. Roger had nothing to do with it. I'm like the mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. No, Roger, like he explained it before. Roger, we were getting the presets. You know,
yeah.
I mean, my God, my car is going all over the place. I'm looking for anything to make. Okay, everybody's going to resonate with this. So, you're a depressed person, right? And all of a sudden you go, "Oh, wow, I feel happy. Wow, what's this happy feeling?" And it goes away. What do you mean? I felt happy. I know what happy is. It's the grip.
Yeah,
the grip.
You start to feel these things. Yeah.
The grip. Like, what? And I go, oh my God, you know, and it takes, it's like a Ford and Ferrari. You have to overdrive the car. Like, I'm like, you gotta be a man. You can't be driving around the course in a circle. You gotta pizza cut. I didn't know that. Roger's like, you're driving like you're going to Publix. So I go, yeah, you're right, man. I just want to stay on the track, and my values were wrong. So I was having a really hard time. As I'm watching Laurent and Roger.
Wow.
Roger and Laurent, who I didn't even know yet.
The gods.
But I'm not.
They were gods.
Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, but I'm not a jealous person. And yet they were drifting off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And I was like back here, and nobody really cared, because I didn't do the research on the rig, the values, the machine, and the digital. It's so important. You have to.
There is some of that, but also there is recognizing the feelings that you're getting back from pedals and wheels, that you can recognize that it is grip, or that it is oversteer, or the traction control kicking it. It takes a year for you to start, because those things are quite subtle. Where at the beginning,
but what about the 6 months where you're going, this feels like butter? What is this?
Yeah,
and it's nothing what Roger and Laurent are feeling, because my values are wrong. Yeah. It's not an excuse, but like, my rig is not set properly. It's not right 1-to-1, and so I'm like, I felt it, but then it's gone. Like, I'm happy and I'm depressed. And that's what happens to a lot of guys out there, the new guys. That machine is so important to tweak into your geometry.
Well, but it's almost impossible to do that at the beginning, because you just don't have the knowledge. And I think that's where where
you don't know what you don't know.
Where the community, yeah, exactly. The community has really, really helped and speed up that process for people and speed up because when we take ACC or iRacing or any of those things that are competitive multiplayer online things, generally you practice by yourself or in a public lobby and you learn nothing new from there. So the added bonus of having a laugh in the community, but also swapping these tips and ideas and settings and that
it's real life. And you're accountable to the relationships you have to race next week, like Formula One. You know what I mean?
So you find
minus we're stabbing. You know what I mean?
So you find us. So what has made you stick around?
It's pretty awesome, and I would say Roger first, but not really. I mean, I was on to you guys from day one. I loved Aid. I loved you, and you guys were not going to tell me that you love me, so I keep pushing. And for a guy that likes to be silent, this place sure does make me. I'm an entertainer. You know, I produce, so I was around artists all my life, and I had to come up with new content. And the one thing that I forgot, this is your channel, and I'm not thinking about channels or any of that. Like I said, I was in video games. I could be whatever I want to be, but now I just got to dial it back a little bit. And I've been working on that, and I like to apologize to the guys because one thing I can't do is race when somebody's talking in my ear.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I can't do it.
There's a time and a place. Like our Warriors Championship is a silent area for racers, and they can switch it off. But there's a certain time where they have to listen in. This push.
Yeah, I think you did a good job at getting me out of there, and a few people price checked me, and I forget. Because I'm so excited about it. I love it. Like, last race, I was like, oh my God, I can go any camera. I'm like, yeah you're doing great. But realizing,
I've given
it's out of context.
I've given you a channel that you can, even though you're not racing, or even if you were, you can go to a channel and talk your heart out. You know, that's absolutely fine. And there's some guys who just want to be in silence. But that Warriors thing is a bit more.
They can always serious. Can always.
But our Tuesday night practice is fun. Tonight is a fun night as well. Next Thursday, not just as serious either, but the Warriors thing, we try to keep it sort of sacrosanct on that. So, but yeah, that's kind of cool. So then
I like to get a shout out to Andrew Morris. I'm looking over here to the left here. I'm being serious though. I've been thinking about these guys. Cos, who's a wild guy who's be everywhere, but Dara has kept me in check. Owen. Also, this race is like Travis. I'm like, oh God, Owen, and I got to tell you, we all know that right now. This right here, this is the original box.
Sorry, Owen, Edith.
It's the original box.
Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah, I had those.
Yeah. And so they contacted me yesterday.
Oh wow, thank you.
It was like, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, to explain, Travis's DD1 Fanatec wheel has given up, died very badly, very suddenly a few weeks ago, and he's been very patient with them, waiting for a ticket, and now we have news.
Yeah, they got back with me 2 nights ago at 4 a.m. Germany, not California.
Yeah.
So we have contact. I'm very happy about that. But very fast, we'll make this very fast. Okay. It was really hard, to see I put a lot of time and energy and rehearsal into Warriors race this season. I really did. It's not about
you. I mean, you've stepped it up.
It's like whatever. Yeah.
You were leading the championship.
I really wanted to focus.
You were leading your championship.
Yeah. Not only that, I was in 4th overall there for the 4 races, even into the gold. I was really happy. And then, like everything that always happens, whether it's music or some big project, it's like, bam, technology just lets me down. And it was hard. Every time Bongo shows up, and I'm like, oh.
So what's happening? So they've came back to you now. So have you got to go ahead to get it sent off?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Basically, no. No. Claudine says probably the firmware thing. I said, listen, it's been 2 weeks. I did the firmware. I did everything. Everybody said I did everything. 3 PCs, Xbox, everything. And really, Rested Wolf and Dr. Todd, those guys gave me a little comfort, and because what happened to them. And Rested Wolf gave me some good advice, and I'm following that. And those two, that's a father and son team that joined Bongo recently, and they gave me comfort. And I'm just doing that. I'm not trying to push it with them, but I noticed they're coming back. I'm very humble, and Fanatec's great. What a great unit, But I do believe that what happened here, Flex, like what happened to the rest of the world, Flex on the 4 bars on the circuit board with the USB, because there's no firmware, there's no signal. Well, I wrote the season off, and it sucks.
Okay, so when you were racing, how was your day? I mean, how did you fit your life around that? Because I know at night time, generally after you finish sim racing, you do the COD stuff and different things like that. But I mean,
I don't like it's COD. I don't care about. I just do that for people and stuff. But the sim racing community and people around it, my family and everybody know it, and they know who you are, and they know this, and it's been amazing because it's changed my life. Stay in your lane and be hyper. I really want to say this. Well, like a lot of people like to get real close to each other in a race, but what's helped me this season was don't write bad checks. Don't be close to red. Don't be close to the 0. Hyper aware what could happen. Don't take a chance on, well, he's a jerk. You know what I mean? It's like this could happen, and really the race is about you.
Oh yeah.
And it's about you. And it's been so amazing. I'm so sad that stopped.
My life. It'll get back, Travis. And it was pointed out to me and I'm learning so much right now. And I mean, my speed has came on and my consistency came on. I still make stupid mistakes, but I'm learning so many extra little things about actual racing. But when I
feel for you. I know for you because the braking, right? The braking, and you're like, damn you, Dan.
Yeah.
And I know that. Yeah. Like go from controller to a thing. It's like, damn, but you can't advance if you don't listen.
And there was this thing about the vortex of danger was pointed out to me. This little 2-pager, this guy that said this, can't remember if guy Matthew, I think it was one of the chaps who said to me, pointed this out to me. One of the guys comes on my live stream and said, you're in the vortex of danger. I said, read this article, it'll really help. And damn it, it's so obvious. See, so, it's the vortex of danger. When you're coming in to a corner and there's a gap. I see the gap. I'm going to go for the gap. But the gap closes, and there's no way, and that's your fault. Or when the vortex also is on the exit of the corner, and it's the opposite. Wow. And for me, my history was in motocross, right? And if there was a gap, if there was a gap, you take it. And if you bumped into the gap, you bumped them out of the way, and away you went. That's kind of how that was. That was pretty rough and ready, but that's only in the last few days. That's that thing. It's now in my head going, I have to really analyze how I drive. And it's just, there's just so much more to this than hardware.
It's light.
Yeah, it is.
The transition between you drive like a granny around the corners to you're overdriving.
Yeah.
Right? You're overdriving, but I'm going to be bad. I mean, like Ford versus Ford. Oh, he's a man. Well, but then if you do that overboard, you suck. If you do underboard, you suck. That's what makes professional, Yeah,
I don't want to blow his own trumpet, but Ian at the moment has found that sweet spot. He doesn't overdrive. Yeah. He doesn't underdrive. He's just waiting for people to fall off. He's got the maturity. He's an elderly guy like ourselves. But he has now the maturity on the track.
Very respectable, man.
Yeah.
Very respectable. Very fast. He's in a McLaren like I am.
Yep.
And I've been watching him, and he was a guy that blew me away in the first couple of days, of course. And he blew me away ever since. He's so fast in McLaren. And it's been, and I realized you have to be disciplined and be aware, hyper aware of behind you, in front of you, what could happen. 2 cars ahead, not the car in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's obvious. But what about over here, the accordion effect, right? And it's like if I'm going to drive my car out there to go to Publix, it's like you don't want to drive like a granny. but you don't want to have to pay for insurance for some of these deaths.
So when you're driving your car in real life, do you take the racing line? Do you take the racing line in your real life car?
Hello there. This is my new motto, bro.
The side.
I look at this every day. Doesn't work. Like Roger, you see polygons. Like I model and 3D model, and I could see polygonal. Not only the apex, but I see the polygonal lines that make the vertexes of the model of the simulation of the corner. So yeah, I do take it, but also I pray. When I get in the car now, it's like I do the sign of the cross. I'm like, God, just protect me, man. I mean, because I am missing something. So help me out. You know what I mean?
Okay, so for a brand new person who's just starting out at this, what would you?
Yes.
What piece of advice would you give to somebody that has came across this tonight? They're thinking about, I'm an older guy. I've got a bit of money. I can put a rig together. What was the one piece of advice you would give to them?
Jonathan is almost a perfect example because he reminds me of me. Jonathan went from a controller and he got into the game, but he's advancing very fast. And Jonathan, I love Jonathan. He's a risk taker because of video games.
Yeah.
But what I would say is what I learned is it's not a video game out here, folks. It's not a video game. You're dealing with people, relationships. People get their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote songs about a couple of people in the races. I wrote songs. I'm like, man, because it really touched me how they were hurt about something they didn't feel. They feel like they didn't do it on purpose, but the lynch mob comes. You know what I'm saying? So it's what I would give advice for people is give yourself a year and a half.
Yeah, give yourself time.
Of just it's give yourself time and know that there's so many you're gonna go later on, like anything in life you're gonna go, I didn't know that. And there's so many more things. And like me, getting on there with you guys on the first day. Oh, hey, Rob. Yeah, Rob, what you gotta do with this? And oh my God, right? I didn't know that I didn't know. And then I'm like, oh shit.
Everyone, considered him the crasher of the county. Anyway,
what's that?
Sorry, I've got me writing songs now. Do you have a memorable moment? I mean, is there any of our nights or anything that we've done that? So because I have a couple of bits and pieces. But is there anything that's goes?
Why don't you give me one? I'll bounce off you.
My first win in an LFM race was Indianapolis, and it was only a month or 2 months in, and I took the lead within the first 2 or 3 minutes. It was only a 25-minute race, but it felt like 25 hours. That 20 minutes trying to keep my head in place, play the head game, not throw it in the wall, not kill it, and I came over that line and I cheered and I danced, and it was just awesome. Just that feeling that there is a rush.
I think the moment you were there, I think the moment of my transition was Brands Hatch, you, me, and Roger.
Oh, really?
And I'll have to remember that race.
Yeah,
but it was you and Roger.
Yeah,
and it was pretty intense, and it was the first time I realized, wow, this was awesome. And
I think back then, Travis, there was nights when you were, I'll be honest straight with you. I mean, there was nights when you were on it, you were really on it.
No.
And then
I'm going to tell you this.
And then there was nights you were like Lewis Hamilton that you just, I'm going
to be honest. I'm going to be honest with everybody out there. This is the most important statement I could make.
Okay.
And I'm not a race car driver, but then you become one, right? And I got to tell you, and a lot of us casually go out there, play video games, want to escape. Do not drink and drive.
That's for reals.
It's for real. It's for real.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because they're crazy. So we're going to have a casual beer.
I know what you mean. Even in the...
Don't, and I'm going to say this for everybody out there. Don't get on Bongo drinking, okay? Don't, you will be embarrassed, and you'll like be mad. You'll blame everybody else, but it's you. Okay, I'm being serious. It's a very good message because it's true.
Well, when we
It's a simulation. It's not fake. It's not a video game.
I suppose
Your response time, all that. Where Jesus.
The ethos here is, for me, when this started was when people start, like older guys seem to watch. I'm sure there's older girls too, but older guys seem to watch. And the idea was to bring people. I always quote Steve Hughes because he had never raced online before. It was always by himself in the closet, and we encouraged him to come out. And that's the sort of guys that I want to come to us, that they were, they're doing by themselves, to get involved, to have some fun, but want to be at the pointy end of the grid, not just there for a laugh. There's so many communities like that it's all beers and cheers and, fair enough, who cares? But the people that are here, they want the fun, but they want to get faster too. They want to learn this, and that's that ethos.
Absolutely. Bringing Steve Hughes on was, I didn't know it was you that did that, but Steve Hughes was very instrumental in my learning because he joined us, me and Roger and Laurent. He was in there, and we're all racing, and it mixed up. But Steve Hughes was so solid, like Mog.
Yeah, Chris
Breaks Mog.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Hughes and Mog are not that anybody else was. I mean, I got so many more to talk about.
Yeah.
But the beginning, Steve Hughes, his disposition and his calmness,
he was getting
me wanting. Yeah, it was like it was so good. And I've talked to Roger, and Roger, yeah, you're not like Steve Hughes. Like, I know, but I want to be. This guy
is so calm.
If I just follow it, if I follow him, I will be smooth. He's so smooth.
All right. What do you think that sim racing, with your mind where you are in 10 years' time, where do you think, will we still be in rigs? Are we all going to be in VR? Where do you think it'll be?
Well, we're not going to do the Elon Musk Neuralink thing because, it's crazy. But the one thing about sim racing because I play up forward from 1984 in video games, Spawn, all that.
Yeah.
And it's not a fad. It's not a fad.
No.
It's game design and all that. But it's all that beside the point. We'll wrap it up. Sim racing is the only sport that's 1-to-1 stat, and they're all in it.
Yeah.
Because it's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1 minus the G forces, right?
Yeah.
So it's like learning. And thank God ACC and their stamp at the tire model. I mean, my God, you remember when I went off about that?
Yeah.
Like, shut up, Trav. Shut up about the tire model. But I do believe that sim racing will, because it was like Gran Turismo 1, PlayStation 1. I saw the future. I'm like,
wow.
My God. But like COVID shows up and things show up and things interrupt. It doesn't become what it should have been.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interrupters. And I really believe it should be an Olympic sport, maybe, or some kind, maybe not Olympic. I'm just saying is in general, because it's a 1-to-1. You can't have a flight. You can't have a flight simulator. No, that's not the same thing.
No.
That's 3D. No, but racing is the only thing in simulation. That's why it's so big.
Yeah, I think
it's the only thing that's 1-to-1.
Jonathan's generation now coming up, it's now mainstream to game like this. It's been coming. Yeah, it's been more and more coming with over the years. FIFA, Madden, and things like that every year. That was what boys did, but now everybody games in some extent, and I think having it more accepted and televised and that sort of thing. I think that. Like this. Yeah. The transition of Bongo Racing. Bongo Racing for me is a first. Like Roger was saying, there's not, and I've overextended my welcome in Bongo Racing. I understand. I'm dialing it back because I understand. It took me a while to understand, but Bongo Racing, you've been so open. It's an amazing community, and the respect, like I said, it's real life. Man, people like Healy, Lindo, Sullivan, all these guys. It's like I do care less
who's Mark Healy? Who gives a crap about Mark Healy in LFN? Oh, Brett Campbell uses like a dish rag on the inside corner, but not in Bongo Racing.
He's still 61 years old. He's been 61 since I met him, and that's a year. Yeah. That's a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Do you know how I met you met Kos, our friend in Kos? I was in Germany at the ADAC sim racing event for the first time in last October, and I was on the Assetto stand, and there was fantastic staff, all the gear, and there was this gentleman, older man, in a tweed, jacket, very, 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 very distinguished, looking on at his son, being very, very interested. And I went doing my, Robin is here. Oh, I'm here. Yeah. Oh, hey, how you doing, fella? You look like an older, more mature gent. Do you do this as well? I says, yeah, and the language was just not, Swedish. It just wasn't quite there, but there. He says, well, here's my card. Come and join Bongo Racing. I think we're the place for you. And he did. He came. And he's now part of the team. He's part of the gang and improving dramatically as well.
It's incredible,
The world is a small place because of this stuff.
And what's good about the community is that everybody branches off. I think I have a shout out to Peter Archer, who was instrumental in me. I went through a depression and racing in Bongo for a minute because I sucked. And Peter Archer, Paul Kelly he came on later, but Paul Kelly and Peter Archer, great guys. There are some special people here.
Oh. They're very special.
It's like I could just tear up over, and Carl, forget about Carl. Carl's like, Travis. I'm like, yeah, Carl, just don't worry about it. It would only happen once for you. I'm like, yeah, once a week I do this. He goes, no, just once. But everybody's got a personality.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And the fact that Robin, you opened up this community you had the Gentleman's Club. Like you said, I get it. I hang around Brits, UK, all kinds of guys down here south in Florida. And I watch my manners. But when you get online, sometimes you don't, and you really put people off. But I just want to, it's not a disclaimer to my existence. I just want to say that I really, really appreciate the patience of your crowd with us. It's been awesome.
I think there's a common frame of reference through all of us, from you and music production and creating and Roger and what Aid does and what Dara does and what everybody has this weird. We're all from completely different backgrounds, completely different financial places. We've all put this together at cost.
Can you imagine what we could do if we put it together for real? Like they went that way, like Dumb and Dumber. They went that way. We didn't badge a little.
But I think the common frame is. We all think the same thing. The gentleman thing. There is a code. Oh. There's an honor among thieves here. That there's a certain way to do this, and that's the thing that makes the perfect Bongo member. That they're not being mean. That maybe they've learnt some bad habits in public places, but they've come in here and people have been surprised at how we behave on track. So that's really
cool. You have helped me out a lot. I've been 10 years running an advertisement agency with a tie, and you think I'd have it down, after my musician career, brand advertisement agency, and then Robert comes along. I got price checked a couple of times, not meanly, but and instead of me being like, human nature doesn't really want to strike back, but I've learned a lot of lessons in my life, and I really appreciate this community and you, and staying in your own lane. But awesome,
All right.
So,
what was the last thing that you Googled saw?
You really want to know?
I do. Yeah, I really, really want to know. What was the last thing on your phone that you searched for, or your computer?
Well.
What was the last thing you searched for? What was the last search?
It was I did geography and video games, all that. So let's see. Oh God! All right. Well, really. All right. So I was in division, and they brought up Lebanon. So I looked up Lebanon. There's Lebanon here in Georgia, right below Nashville, Tennessee, and Lebanon took over the Lebanon took over this whole city of American city that's so like Happyville.
Yes.
But the Cherokee Indians took over Lebanon, but Lebanon was named after an Asian city. I'm like, how does this even make sense?
Lovely, love it. Is there anything I should have asked you that I've missed out completely?
A lot, and I'm so happy.
Good.
Yes.
And for another day, maybe, Travis. For another day.
This is me as a little boy.
Oh.
Right there. There, my rabbit. No.
Cool shades.
But you know, I know we're coming to the end of this interview, so there's something really important I want to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is it? What do you want to tell me?
That's where you hang up on me.
I don't hang up.
Oh, here we go, buddy.
Roger, I just want to say goodbye, and that's it. You know, so we're done. You know, so
what?
Fuck off. Go away.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I really want to tell you the really important thing that I really want the people to know is that, you know, that...
No, you have to press the button. You hang up, Travis. You know,
I had to hang up.
I didn't hang up on me.
I'm not telling me that you didn't hang up on Roger.
Roger hung up on me. He cut the line.
Oh. All right, well,
I said, the fucking sound here.
So anyways, I whatever.
Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle.